In the shadows of seemingly suburban life, a tale of simmering resentment and mounting frustration unfolds. Meet George Sedini, a 48-year-old systems analyst residing in Scott Township, Pennsylvania. To the outside world, he appeared as just another face in the crowd, earning a living at the law firm of K&L Gates. Join us here on Crime Scene Archives and discover the harrowing tale of how money, looks, and a decade-long career masked a darker truth that lurked within the recesses of his troubled mind. As the autumn leaves fell, George's digital footprint exposed a sinister descent into the abyss of a potential mass killer. His weapon of choice? Not firearms or explosives, but a keyboard fueled by anger. For months, he poured his seething discontent about women into a venomous online diary, providing an unsettling glimpse into the psyche of a brewing menace. While you navigate through the tapestry of your daily routines, consider this cautionary tale. The online rants were not mere words on screen. They were twisted revelations of a man on the brink. George Sedini, the seemingly average systems analyst, harbored a lifetime of torment beneath the surface. Amidst the hustle of your day, imagine standing in a checkout line, oblivious to the potential danger that could lurk in the minds of those around you. This is the chilling reality that George Sedini's story unveils. The streets you walk, the places you frequent, all potential scenes of an impending tragedy. This tale echoes beyond the realm's crime documentaries, delving into the unsettling intricacies of a troubled soul. George Sedini's story reminds us that, amidst the chaos of daily life, there may be those who harbor dark secrets and disturbing thoughts. In the pursuit of unraveling the complex narrative of George Sedini's troubled existence, we delve into a chapter where he sought solace in the dubious realm of self-help seminars. These 3-day, 8-hour sessions, orchestrated by Arden Steele, a self-proclaimed dating expert and author, promised young men the keys to unlocking the mysteries of attracting women. Men from across the United States flocked to these classes, eager to glean insights directly from the female perspective. From deciphering the nuances of necktie collars to overcoming deep-seated mommy issues, Steele's seminars left no stone unturned. George, in his quest for emotional connection, embarked on a peculiar journey within this unconventional classroom setting. His sincerity shone through as he acknowledged the need for authenticity, vowing to cultivate genuine emotional connections. As part of an intriguing assignment, George documented a video house tour to enhance his living space's allure to the opposite sex. The goal? Make your home more attractive to women. According to a young woman grading the assignment, George appeared studious and reserved. However, as the sessions unfolded, while others gained confidence, George remained ensnared by his nervous disposition.
Okay. Here's my big screen TV, 32-inch. It's my computer. Let me pan out a little bit. Computer is connected to the stereo, which I listen to my MP3s and everything else.
Undeterred, George ventured into the realm of fitness, hoping to reshape his physique and, by extension, his prospects with women. Yet the gym proved to be a crucible of frustration rather than transformation. His encounters with women seemed to amplify his internal turmoil, pushing him deeper into the throes of despair. In December 2008, George's online diary became a repository of his innermost thoughts. Amidst holiday festivities, he found himself grappling with memories of his last relationship, lamenting the absence of a girlfriend since 1984. Despite sporadic glimmers of optimism, his entries often devolved into bitter diatribes about women's apparent rejection and his perpetual isolation. As the days passed, George's musings hinted at a more sinister turn. Intriguingly, he began contemplating an exit plan, a chilling revelation that suggested a dark design taking shape in the recesses of his troubled mind. George started dropping cryptic hints about a significant event scheduled for January 6, 2009, indicating a looming sense of foreboding. Against the backdrop, George's online activity took a sinister turn. He procured firearms from an online gun wholesaler, TGS Com Incorporated, raising alarms given the company's dubious track records. George's descent into a nihilistic mindset became increasingly evident in his blog posts, reflecting a dangerous intersection of despair and potential violence. December 30, 2008, marked a turning point as George stumbled upon a talk show discussing the perceived cheapness of life in certain communities. The caller's perspective resonated deeply with George, who seemed to embrace a fatalistic outlook, questioning the value of enduring a prolonged, unhappy existence. These ominous revelations laid bare the internal strife and impending darkness that would soon engulf George Sedene's life and the lives of those around him. In the crucible of the gym, George Sedene found a temporary respite from his raging anger turmoil. The revelation that strenuous exercise drained him of anger sparked a profound reflection on his bleak upbringing. On December 31, 2008, he expressed a newfound understanding of the benefits of lifting weights, lamenting the lack of guidance from his family, particularly his father. George's anger seemed to dissipate temporarily, replaced by a desire for self-improvement. However, his journey towards self-discovery took a dark turn as he delved into his past, blaming his family for his lack of knowledge and decrying his father as a useless sperm donor. George's entries unveiled the scars of a troubled childhood, marked by a brother's bullying and discouragement in pursuing relationships. He found himself navigating life's basics in his 40s, guided only by trial and error. As George grappled with his past, he shared his evolving perspective, grappling with the societal expectation that, at almost 50, one should inherently know the intricacies of social interactions. The prospect of embarrassment lingered, compelling him to justify his actions and contemplate the futility of seeking advice or support. The newfound outlet of the gym, coupled with his introspective musings, seemed to momentarily alleviate George's rage. On January 6, 2009, the day he had ominously earmarked for a significant event, George exhibited a surprising change. His blog entry revealed a sense of calmness, attributing it to his weightlifting regimen. However, beneath this apparent calm lay a sinister undertone, as George continued to harbor dark plans. Despite experiencing a momentary setback after chickening out of a planned attack, George's emotional turmoil persisted. By April, as impending layoffs loomed over his job, he predicted his demise, contemplating an exit from life once his livelihood crumbled. The prospect of losing his job and the perception of having nothing left to lose reignited his dark plans for a mass attack. In May 2009, George's blog entries documented a return to his sinister intentions. The fear of imminent layoffs fueled his desperation, leading him to consider alcohol as a means to embolden himself for the impending exit plan. Despite these ominous thoughts, an unexpected twist occurred. George secured a date. However, even this glimmer of hope failed to lift his spirits, as he continued to articulate his profound dissatisfaction with his love life. The narrative unfolded as George's internal struggles and impending turmoil interwove with a disturbing sense of inevitability, creating a chilling prelude to the tragic events that would eventually unfold. George Sudaney's journey, marred by loneliness and frustration, took a chilling turn on August 4, 2009, culminating in a tragedy at the Bridgeville, LA Fitness Center just outside Pittsburgh. This grim chapter in his life unfolded as he entered the women's aerobics class armed with 4 handguns. In his final blog entry on August 3rd, George expressed a resolve to carry out a meticulously planned attack, practicing his routine to ensure its flawless execution. The ominous tone of his words and the reference to eternal life raised concerns about his mental state. On August 4th, at approximately 8:15 p.m., George entered the gym during a women's aerobics class. He set up a large duffel bag, turned off the lights, and armed with 2 Glock semi-automatic pistols, fired at the unsuspecting participants. The ferocity of his attack resulted in at least 52 shots. Survivors recall the chaos and panic that ensued as people fled the scene. Loretta Ma, a witness, described the horrifying moment when the class was disrupted by the sound of gunshots, prompting a frantic escape from the building. The victims, including pregnant aerobics instructor Mary Primus, suffered a gunshot wound but managed to survive. Tragically, the attack claimed the lives of Elizabeth Gannon, Heidi Overmeyer, and Jody Billingsley, leaving a community in shock and mourning. George Sudaney concluded the violent act by taking his own life with a .45 caliber revolver. The aftermath saw 9 individuals sustaining injuries of varying degrees, with some in critical condition. Emergency services responded swiftly, transporting the wounded to different hospitals for treatment. George Sudaney's final harrowing act underscored the complex and devastating consequences of unchecked rage, despair, and isolation. The Bridgeville, LA Fitness shooting remains a somber reminder for the importance of mental health awareness and the need for societal support to prevent such tragic events. After the tragic event at the Bridgeville, LA Fitness Center, investigators discovered a note in George Sudaney's duffel bag left at the scene. The typed letter did not explicitly mention his intention to take his own life. However, a handwritten note found at his home revealed more details. Police seized his belongings, including his car and computer, for analysis. During interviews, a woman who assisted in George's self-help seminar expressed disbelief, stating that George did not seem like a bad person and was actively seeking self-improvement. It became apparent that George had deliberately chosen the time of the attack, as it coincided with an aerobics class specifically for women. A schedule found at his home had that particular class circled. Investigators believed he targeted women in general rather than any specific individual. The note mirrored the content of his online blogs, detailing his sexual frustration, struggles in getting a date, and his unfulfilled desire for marriage. Following the incident, George's family released a statement expressing condolences for the victims and their families, wishing for the full recovery of the survivors. A candlelit vigil was held in downtown Pittsburgh on August 6, 2009, attended by about 75 people, including friends and family of the victims, women's rights activists, clergy members, and local officials. About a week later, it was revealed that George had designated his estate, valued at about $225,000, to the University of Pittsburgh, his alma mater. The university declined the bequest, and instead, it was suggested that the funds be directed to the victims and their families. In March 2012, State Farm Fire and Casualty Co. filed a legal motion to be exempt from liability under George's $100,000 personal liability policy. Victims argued that the insurance company had failed to ensure that George received proper mental health care. The company TGS-Com, which had sold weaponry to George, closed in 2012, following investigations by various authorities. George's legacy lived on in a darker way, as he became a topic of discussion within the Incel movement that emerged later online. Unfortunately, his actions inspired others to follow a similar path, highlighting the concerning ripple effects of such tragic events. As we reflect on the deeply unsettling story of George Sedani and the tragic events that unfolded at the Bridgeville, LA Fitness Center, we are reminded of the complexities surrounding mental health, societal issues, and the consequences of unaddressed despair. The question that lingers is how we, as a society, can better support individuals facing profound challenges, preventing such devastating outcomes. Let's engage in a thoughtful conversation in the comments below. What measures do you believe can be taken to address the root causes of such despair and frustration, ultimately working towards a safer and more compassionate society? This story also brings to mind the chilling case of Carl Cooper, the coffee shop shooter who, in his own despair, ended the lives of 3 innocent people. Both cases underscore the urgency of understanding and addressing the mental health struggles that individuals may face. As we delve into these narratives, let us consider the broader societal implications and seek ways to foster empathy, support, and proactive solutions. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, Crime Scene Archives, for more true crime stories that sends chills to the bones.